He was just skin and bones, lying in the cold, forgotten by the world. No food, no home, not even a name. But what happened next changed everything. Not just for him, but for everyone who met him. This is the true story of Chance, the dog no one wanted, until love found him. It was the kind of morning where the air stung your skin, bitter wind, frost clinging to windows, and silence on the streets. Clara, a local school teacher, walked her usual path to work when she noticed something small and still near a dumpster. At first, she thought it was a pile of garbage, affected, but then it moved. She stepped closer and saw him, a dog, barely more than a skeleton, curled into himself. Covered in dirt, his ribs showed with every breath, his fur was matted and his eyes lifeless. He didn't run, he didn't bark, he didn't even lift his head. He had already given up. Clara couldn't walk away. She wrapped her scarf around his fragile body and whispered, "It's okay. You're safe now." Animal Services rushed him to the nearest shelter. He weighed just 24 pounds when he should have weighed at least 40. They discovered he had multiple infections, severe malnutrition, and cracked paws from walking on cold pavement. They gave him a name, Chance. It wasn't just a name, it was a promise. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. When the vet reached out to pet him, he flinched like he expected to be hurt. Every sound made him shake. A shelter worker said he didn't bark once. He didn't even whimper. It was like he was hollow. Chance's recovery began slowly, painfully slowly. Volunteers sat beside his cage and read books to him. One played soft guitar. Another, Maya, just talked to him every evening after her shift. She said he wouldn't let me touch him at first, but I kept talking. One night, I cried about my own pain, and he crept closer, not to comfort me, but to say, "I understand." The next day, he ate 3 bites on his own. By day 10, he wagged his tail once, a soft, hesitant thump on the floor. Healing wasn't just about food and medicine. It was about trust. And every time he looked someone in the eye, he was learning to trust again. No one knew where Chance came from, but someone in the neighborhood recalled seeing a dog weeks earlier with a frayed rope around his neck, limping near the highway. Had he been tied up and abandoned, lost and ignored? We may never know. But one thing was clear. He had survived something cruel and still found the strength to keep breathing. 2 weeks later, a couple, Jen and Mark, walked into the shelter. They had just lost their senior dog and weren't planning to adopt so soon. But then they saw Chance, sitting quietly, eyes locked on them. No bark, no jump, just presence. Jen knelt and whispered, "Are you waiting for us?" Chance walked over, slowly, carefully, and rested his head on her hand. In that moment, they knew, he was already home. Life at home was an adjustment. He didn't like hardwood floors. He hid when the vacuum came out. He barked at his own reflection. But each day, something changed. He learned about toys, especially a little stuffed bear he carried everywhere. He discovered windows were for watching squirrels and that laps were made for curling into. He gained 18 pounds in 6 weeks. His coat thickened, his eyes shined, and every morning he'd bring his bear to Jen, tail wagging like a metronome of happiness. Chance's story isn't just about survival, it's about resilience, about how the smallest act of kindness, like stopping to look, can change a life. He was left to die, but because someone cared, he now lives like he was always meant to. Not all heroes wear capes, some wear collars, and some come with scars that whisper their story. If this story touched you, please adopt, foster, donate, or simply share. Because sometimes the ones we save end up saving us. This is Chance's story, and it's just the beginning.